But nah, man, he shouldn't shut up and dribble because the same people that tell him to be quiet, they didn't tell Brady that they didn't say anything to Brady when he had the MAGA hat in his locker.
And the thing is, too, like when you go on these forums, you have people mad at LeBron for giving his opinion,
Right.
saying shut up and dribble. But I'm like, well,
Yeah,
you work, you know what I'm saying, at Publix. Should you just shut up and
exactly.
bag? Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Rocket City Network. We got the all-star panel. Today we're going to be talking about LeBron James, but in a different way, right? So a lot of people just want LeBron James to shut up and play basketball and don't talk about any kind of political thing that's going on in the world. So I brought my brothers on here and we're going to discuss that. So fellas, should LeBron James just shut up and dribble? I'll start off with you, Courtney.
Man, no, he shouldn't because LeBron has a lot of influence, man, all over the world, man. And that man, it's amazing that when black athletes who have a lot of money or any black celebrities speak out, they haven't experienced racism. If it was racism, they wouldn't be a millionaire or a billionaire. But nah, man, he shouldn't shut up and dribble because the same people that tell him to be quiet, they didn't tell Brady that they didn't say anything to Brady when he had the MAGA hat in his locker. You did. So I think LeBron, out of all the athletes of right now, I think they follow his lead when he speaks because his voice means something. And they don't like when a black man has power to speak and they can't dictate his money. Like they can't dictate LeBron's money.
Mm-hmm.
So he can say whatever he want to say. And that's the biggest reason why they're trying to throw darts at him is because they can't touch him. He's untouchable. And so nah, man, he should continue to use his platform to speak out against racism. They see it, we see it. And like you said, man, they just don't want anybody to talk about it. But when an athlete of LeBron's stature speaks, the world listens. So they want to silence that.
Definitely. Justin, how do you feel about this
Hey, I
topic?
completely agree. LeBron is probably the most popular athlete, if not one of the most popular celebrities on the planet. You know,
Mhm.
look at Laura Ingraham. What she got, like a million, 2 million followers, if that, on Instagram. LeBron got 47, almost 50. So his
Yeah.
influence is great, right? And so a lot of white folks like to let's just keep things just the way they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are fine with what you got. And so as we start to make a little progress and get a little bit, rattle the cage, if you will, to start talking about what's wrong within this country, what this president is or is not doing, or what the last president is or is not doing that could actually benefit us, is all of a sudden shut up and dribble. You guys are no political experts, right? But that don't stop you from bringing like a Kid Rock or a Bobby Knight or a Ted Nugent, anybody else, right? These guys are not political experts, but because y'all see the same thing, right? All of a sudden you can sit those guys on all day. You're not saying shut up and play your guitar, right? You're
Mm-mm.
not telling him to shut up and coach. It's
Mm-hmm.
just because of the influence, because we are at a time now where black folks are smarter, we're more educated, we're not taking a lot of the crap that we probably have taken in the past. And so we're coming into our own. And like my brother said, LeBron is untouchable. It's nothing you can do. That man is making 30, 40, 50 million, $60 million a year. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
she making what, one? She's
Yeah,
jealous.
That's it.
Definitely.
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 Hey Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the fellas. Yeah, I don't think he should shut up and dribble. Like LeBron has a big influence, and what the thing is, I like about LeBron. LeBron is doing what Jordan should have did back in the day because it would have been brought more light to it way back then. So
Mm-hmm.
I like LeBron. I don't like him as a basketball player because he cried too much, but
Yeah.
him as a person, a family man, an influence on the black community, I love him. Like, yes, he can't do no wrong in my eyes off the court. Like LeBron is the greatest. athlete off of the court to me. Yeah, like his
Yeah.
influence. Yeah, anything he say, yeah, it's pretty much on the same kind of line. Cause I'm around LeBron age. I know he a little bit older than me, but so shit, he pretty much thinking the same thing I be thinking. Like
Yeah.
like this way, I want somebody in that type of position to say the shit I'm thinking. Yeah, like he
Mm-hmm.
say the shit I'm thinking.
And the thing is too, like when you go on these forums, you have people mad at LeBron for giving his opinion,
Right.
saying shut up and dribble. But I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you work, you know what I'm saying, at Publix. Should you just shut up and
Exactly.
bag? You know, your voice, your opinion too. You know what I'm saying? And like you guys were saying, they're mad at his influence.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And what he's able to do.
Even the political pundits, they're mad. Like you said,
Mhm.
Laura
Yeah.
Ingraham, Fox News,
Right.
1.2 million followers. LeBron James, NBA, 50 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
His salary,
and
he owns his own, you think he doesn't, it's almost like, I don't want to put him in the same box with a Jay-Z, but they're very similar in the fact that they're their own made men. You can't
exactly.
Mhm.
touch them, right?
You can't touch him.
LeBron's brand is what it is. And he's not, asking for, hey, can you guys know? He's got it on, right? So he can get out here and speak and then show other people how to do it, right?
Right.
So this has always been the route that everyone else took. LeBron decided to go this way and people don't like it.
Yeah.
He decided to, I'm gonna empower the players. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna be a businessman. I'm gonna be a billionaire athlete. I'm gonna do this, and folks don't like it because now he's opening the door for other people behind him to do the same thing. He's creating schools. He's creating opportunities for other people.
Yes.
He's doing these things, and these folks don't want to see that, man. They're not racist, but I don't want to see you black folks get any more than what you already got.
Exactly.
But you know what's so funny too, and I'll let Courtney take the floor. The people who just want LeBron to shut up and dribble, if you ask them who their favorite athletes were, favorite boxer, they're going to mention Muhammad Ali. Favorite football player, they're going to mention Jim Brown,
Yeah.
right? Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali, and also Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they would be considered super woke if they were around now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you tell people like, hey, you're telling LeBron James to shut up and dribble, but then you love Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You love Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which Kareem is actually, as he's gotten older, has been even more quote unquote radical.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't think that they actually know these players. They just see them on the court, they see the hook shot, but they don't understand that these people were very political. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he came out the gate out of UCLA, saying, hey, this is just wrong, speaking out against racism.
Yeah. But you already hit it on the head, man. Like when Muhammad Ali was alive and he was speaking up and speaking out, they hated him. But when I moved here to Louisville, like 14, I think Ali died like 15, 16. Yeah. Man, and same thing with MLK. Every year, MLK, they putting quotes on Twitter, Facebook. They're talking about unity, and then the next day they back to the same BS they were the day before. Like everybody loved Ali. When Ali was in his prime and he wouldn't go to Vietnam and he was talking about the plight of black people in America, they didn't like him. They stripped that man of his titles. He couldn't even go fight overseas. Like, just think about that. You want this man to go fight over in Vietnam. The man refused, which is his right as an American, which is his right? So because he didn't do what you wanted him to do, you stripped him of his titles. You stripped him where he could make a living to feed his family, right? And you basically banned this man because he stood on principle for people that you said under the Constitution, all men are created equal, but your words and your actions speak totally different against what you're supposed to represent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And didn't Trump dodge the draft? I'm just saying.
Yeah, he had bone spurs.
Yeah, he had bone spurs. But you know what's so amazing, my brother? You say that it's like, how is Trump so much more considered a patriot more than Ali? Like Trump didn't stand on no principles, right?
Mm-mm.
Ali sacrificed what he had. MLK, we know MLK got murdered. Like, those guys stand on principle. Trump just came in throwing racism all around, and these white people ate it up, bruh.
Doesn't that
some black people
make
ended up
our
too.
doesn't that make the whole point of what we spoke about before we actually began, that America actually is a racist country?
But
Right, where they say that it's not. But if he's able to come out here and just say all these racist things and become the president of the United States, I mean, that makes the point that this country is exactly what it is. It wants to make it great again, taking it back to its old place where they were quote unquote here and we were here, right? So then to get on TV and say America is not a racist country, this is not who we are. No, it's exactly who we are. It's exactly who we've always been.
Yeah. I think a lot of times real quick, Jay. I think a lot of times. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No.
What I was gonna say was, I think as far as athletes, right? People, and I hate to say Trumpers or the alt-right or the right. They want everybody to be an athlete like Jackie Robinson was. They don't want you to do anything. Just go out there, play ball, allow people to bash you, to just say horrendous things about you, and you're just supposed to take it.
Yeah.
Because it is a privilege to play this sport and to do what you do. Never mind the talent that you have.
It's a privilege to see that.
Exactly. I mean, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no! I was just agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So, John, you out there? He's not. But and James too. But yeah, you're right, man. And the thing is, and I think Trump has came out and said something about LeBron. It's just a jealousy, man.
That's what
so
it all
many
boils
words.
down to.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times, right? And the people that you see spewing this hate on the internet, you look at their profile pictures, and I hate to judge. I don't insult people. I just describe them accurately, right? You can tell they never picked up a basketball, never been to the gym in the last 5 years, but they just have so much disdain for athletes, right? And we know the majority of athletes are black, right? But they love a Tom Brady. They will say Tom Brady was the greatest of all time, right? Just because he has 7 rings. So never mind he runs the 40 in 6 seconds. Never mind he was never a generational talent, right? But when he won that 7th ring, they just wanted to put him over a guy like Jordan, guys like Kareem, guys like Bill Russell as the greatest professional sports athlete of all time.
Right.
When you bring up LeBron James, he just needs to shut up and dribble. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It is.
So, man. So, I don't think he should shut up and dribble. I think he needs to keep on doing what he's doing, applying pressure, sending these kids to school, bankrolling children. This is not like Trump University, where I take your money. He's actually bankrolling these kids to go to school, and they're not all just black kids. He's bankrolled white children, Asian children, and Hispanic children, Native Americans too. So I know a lot of times in the forum they say, "Oh, he doesn't have any character." I'm like, what are you basing it off? Lacks character. I mean, there's a lot of athletes that didn't lack character. They're making it like LeBron James brought AIDS home.
Exactly.
Right.
Then they like to talk about that he doesn't have a college degree, right? They like to talk about the fact that he went to the NBA from high school, and they want to call him dumb for that, right? But
they just mad because he's a family man. You ain't never heard him out here cheating, being in a crazy relationship. He goes home to his wife and kids. He's a family person, so he doesn't keep up drama. What they consider drama is him just speaking his piece. He's an athlete. Yeah, he needs to speak his opinion.
Exactly.
He's not out here like Brett Favre and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
Roethlisberger raping. He out here raping.
Right.
Hey, John.
What's
should
going on, everybody?
Hey,
What's up, my brother?
What's going on?
All right now.
hey. So what are your thoughts on people that believe that LeBron James should just shut up and dribble?
They should just shut up. Doesn't I mean to talk to that man like that, and like I heard you guys discussing before as far as education and stuff goes. I mean, just look at it, his philanthropic endeavors, the things he does as far as giving back, I mean, and with everything that's being exposed now, who's to say that education is the education to have? So to call that man dumb or to say he should just shut up and dribble is crazy to me.
Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with they're upset that he was able to go straight to the NBA without being milked and exposed or exploited by the NCAA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like Justin was saying, he was able to control his brand. Like LeBron can retire tomorrow, but still bring in $60 million a year from his endorsements.
But it's crazy. Everything that we're saying, right? It shows how it's rooted in racism, but at the same time, it's so hypocritical on the other side. So like Sean Hannity, right, who's also on Fox News, I want to say he doesn't have a college degree, right? And if I'm not mistaken, they used to call Obama a snob for wanting Americans to go get college degrees. So then you turn around and call LeBron dumb for not having a college degree. I mean, you want it both ways?
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Wow.
That's for you evangelical Christians out there.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and like you were saying, like Obama, I mean, they want LeBron to have all these accolades as far as in academia world, right? Because he's being political. Well, you can have a politician who has all those degrees. Oh, you're exploiting racism. You're just race baiting, So it's like they're so hypocritical, and a lot of times I call them hypocristians because they are hypocritical.
This is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
You made a very good point, Sean. I never even looked at it. And y'all may have discussed it before I got on, but the fact that the NCAA wasn't able to profit off of him, I think is speaks volumes in itself. And he's still a success. I mean, without them being able to, for lack of a better term, hold his name out and stuff like that. I mean, he is they're gonna always find something regardless.
Yeah. And then kind of back to the whole shut up and dribble. I mean, this has been going on for the last 40 years. Of course, when Jackie Robinson came in the league, he did, I guess he did it the right way. He wasn't the best player from the Negro Leagues. No. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the best. But he was the one. He had military experience, and he I guess he knew when to shut up and play ball. But it's a different time period, like Justin said earlier. Different time, more people are socially engaged, and we see the buffoonery. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then, like we were saying before, you have these Bojangling, I got the shirt on, Bojangling, buck dancing politicians like Tim Scott and Kamala. I mean, that's my girl, but she actually came out and said that the U.S. is not a racist country or whatnot. But you have these people, they're used as buffer. They're buffer Negroes. They're used to be paraded out there to make it seem like there's no racism. You know what I'm saying? When you have the guy, what's his name, Courtney from Fox News?
Leo Terrell,
a so-called civil rights attorney, comes out and says that there is no such thing as systemic racism. I'm like, why are you a civil rights attorney?
Why are you you just need to just go ahead. They need to take your law degree and just throw it in the trash. Because you can't be a civil rights attorney and not believe in civil rights. Like, you bought your degree online, dog. Like, stop playing games.
Yeah. But they will parade them around.
Yeah.
and act like that's their one black friend. That they Candace Owens. That's my one black friend right there. And so they
I
make
always
it like,
wondered how they get these people on there to say this stuff.
oh,
Right.
money. We've talked about this money. It's look, man. If the liberals came in and doubled Sean Hannity's salary, he would be a liberal.
Immediately. No issue. Where do I sign on the line?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
again, LeBron controls his own destiny, and he can't be silenced.
Mhm.
You know, and they will attack his character. They will use ad hominem attacks. They'll use one tweet.
Yeah.
How many tweets does Trump have? You know,
Yeah.
blatant lies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But they'll look the other way.
listen.
And then they twist his word. He said, "You're next," and they said that he was bringing violence towards police and hate.
Mhm.
Right when he said, "You're next," they just convicted Derek Chauvin. So before LeBron understood the totality of what happened, he said, "You're next. You're gonna be the next to get locked up." But they wanted to take and twist that so that they can cancel him. Right? That's not gonna happen.
Oh
right?
So they complain about cancel culture all the time.
Yeah.
But they cancel everything.
Yeah, but I mean, like sometimes I mess with them. But the thing is, conservatives, they fail to realize you were the first ones to do cancel culture. We're just now learning about Marcus Garvey in schools. We're just now learning about W.B. Du Bois. You know, Booker T. Washington.
Listen,
Chancellor Williams.
They still cancel
Van Sertima,
Malcolm X.
Shank Anta Diop, Malcolm X. So they want to say, oh, they're trying to cancel Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. I'm like, dude, like it's rooted in racism. If you knew better, you do better.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, cancel culture. Oh, take down all the Confederate statues. That's cancel culture. But on the flip side, you're always talking about how the Democrats invented the Klan and Jim Crow. Well, the liberals are saying take those statues down, but you're saying no, that's cancel culture. Not only that, those statues were erected in the 1950s to stop who from voting? To intimidate who?
Black folks.
Exactly.
And not to mention,
I would just like to see any other nation with any type of military force that has won their freedom, so they say, that still celebrates a defeated foe. I mean, what defeated foe? What country still allows a defeated foe to fly their flags in their borders and to give them holidays and things like that? I don't understand it, man.
I had this one friend. He a Trumper. You know what I'm saying? I told him, I talk to everybody, but I told him he was like in shock. He's from New York. When I told him that like there's a Confederate memorial holiday and they shut down like the place where you pay your water bill, he was in shock. He looked it up and he was like, "Oh man, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, man, that's crazy." You know, when they talk about, the Confederate flag and the Statue of Lee, that is, our American history. We have to remember that. I'm like, no, it belongs in a museum. Not only that, I'm about to go to Hawaii in July. I am not going to see a bust of Admiral Yamamoto of Japan or a Japanese flag, knowing that Hawaii has a huge population of Japanese. You're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
When I lived in Germany, I didn't see no Nazi flags. I mean, they had neo-Nazis, but I mean, it didn't belong.
Yeah.
So
that's but what the flag represents and what's behind it, we all know it and they know it. They just don't.
They say heritage, not hate, huh?
Listen, it's a guy right now across the street cutting my neighbor's yard. This joker has on a Confederate flag vest, bro. I kid you not. Right outside my window, this dude's right across the street with a whole leather flag vest cutting my neighbor's yard across the street, dog.
And I'm sure he believes he's a patriot. What kind of culture confusion is he going through? He probably was upset that Kaepernick was kneeling.
Oh yeah, he was pissed.
And I just hated that they make it to where, okay, if you believe that the statue should come down, you're automatically a liberal. If you don't, you're a conservative. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate that we've gotten to that point. If you believe that Chauvin was guilty, you're a liberal. If you don't, I just hate that we've gotten to that point. You know what I'm saying? But something has to give. Something just has to give.
Yeah.
You know?
Why is it? It's like every time it's like, yeah, like you said, you either on this side or that side. It need to be just the middle. Like, yeah. Okay. What is it? Just solve the problem. It needs to be somebody that just say, okay, yeah, this is what you want. This is what you want. Okay, this is the problem solved by the book.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Meghan Markle, that whole debacle. If you were with Meghan Markle, you're a liberal. You're a libtard. If you were with the Queen, you're a conservative. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened to just right and wrong?
That's it. And why do we care what happens over in England? We live in America. Like, why do we care?
I don't care.
Why would you even support imperialism? Exactly.
People just dumb, man.
Nah, they don't.
Racists are just dumb.
Yes. And like you guys were saying before, they loved Ali when he lost his motor skill. Did y'all notice that? Like they like the sanitized version of Ali. They don't like the Ali that was talking about ain't no Vietnam ever did anything to my people. They don't like that. They like the sanitized version.
That's the same way with King. They don't like King in his later years when he was the Poor People's Campaign and he talking about reparation. They didn't like that King.
King was the most hated man in America before.
Yeah.
But and then so what they try to do now is, and I'm starting to see it on these forums, right? Though all of a sudden they have this love for Malcolm X. But they don't know brother Malik El Shabazz like we do. They have this love for him because he was
Dirty Red.
Yeah, exactly. they have this love for him because he scrutinized the liberals, right?
Yeah.
I told one person he didn't too much like Southern conservatives too. And if he was alive in 2021, who do you think he would endorse? Bernie Sanders or Bull Connor? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. So I think they do a lot of revisionist history, you know.
Definitely.
And they just hate LeBron. Like, you know, of course, a couple years ago it was Kaepernick, but now LeBron is in their crosshairs. You know, and for me, I think at every point we might not like LeBron as a player, some of us, but we have to still like stick up for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like for sure. You know when the hate began was when he first took ownership of his career and his brand, when he made the decision to leave to go to Miami, and they all set his jerseys on fire and all that. I think that's when that big storm against him really started, and it's never, because ever since then LeBron has done what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it. They don't like his agent. They don't like Rich Paul. They don't like how whatever he does what he wants to do. LeBron, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm going to move from Cleveland to Miami. Now I'm going to go from Miami to Cleveland. Now I'm going to go from Cleveland to Los Angeles. Now I'm going to make a movie. I'm going to open a school. I'm going to do this, right? LeBron is controlled by, they can't stand.
He controls his own destiny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately,
I mean,
we have some Bojangling butt dancing people who,
the celebrity that most athletes portray. Are you good?
Nah. What I was gonna say is like, you know,
I mean, if you look at it, and most...
go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I mean, if you look at it, and the celebrity that the media portrays that most athletes have. I mean, the wealth and things like that. I mean, it's kind of hard to not, celebrate LeBron. This dude brought his partners from the crib with him. Put these dudes in positions to make moves not only for themselves but for their families. They're creating generational wealth for their families, which is something that has been lacking in the Black community for decades. So I mean, it's he has to be commended, whether you like him or hate him.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. They just want him to shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a patriot quote unquote. Why would you be mad at someone who is speaking out against atrocities or violence that is being, relayed against another American? Like, what is the issue? It's just that as Black people, we getting the attention now, and or whatever, the spotlight's focused on us, so they're gonna bring up Black on Black crime or all these other things. But if you're a true American, you care about what's happening to your fellow. You should care about it.
And another thing that pisses them off is their daughters is loving LeBron James and listening to Moneybag Yo, listening to him, right?
Yeah.
They can't stand it. Right?
Yeah.
They can't stand it.
Yeah.
Say what but their daughters and their sons is LeBron fanatics,
Mm-hmm.
they Kyrie fanatics, they KD fanatics, Steph Curry fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
They listening to this trap music. They dating them Black boys. They going to these parties. They can't stand it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And LeBron is an easy target.
So, because I look at it like this, because at the end of the day, if you're wearing basketball shoes, you wearing some Jordans, some LeBrons, some Steph Currys, some KDs, some Kyries,
Kobe's,
or some Kobe's.
Kobe's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not getting out of that. If you playing professional sports, basketball, anything, that's all you're gonna really. That's your choice. Or unless you're gonna wear some off brand, and you ain't gonna hoop in no off brand.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, they gonna have to buy a pair of Black person shoes.
Right.
Yeah, and like a lot of it has to do with they believe that people like LeBron's, your Kaepernicks, your Jordans, the quote unquote Negroes who've made it to the promised land, if they can make it, then there's no racism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, for some reason they think that that's like the measuring stick, that that nobody else can experience racism because they don't experience racism.
Yeah.
But I see them experience it all day, every day on social media.
Yeah.
Just with the cyberbullying. I mean, like, so nowadays you have so much. It's easy to access these players, these celebrities, right? I mean, you can go on LeBron's Twitter feed and just go off on them. You know what I'm saying? So the notion that there's no racism because we have a few Black billionaires and some Black millionaires, I don't agree with that.
Mm-mm.